Hey guys, what's up? Daybreak here. This is going to be the revamped version of the Stam Nightblade using Bone Pirate and the one-handed shield build that I did about a couple months ago. Maybe it's 3 months ago by now. No sets have changed, but there is a new food. And I do want to go into a little more in-depth coverage of why this is a really good build now and why it's super strong. So let's get right into the stat sheet. This is unbuffed, but we do have our food on. 37.5k max stam, 26k health, 9.5k magicka. Not too bad. Really good stat pools. Even for a food setup, really super strong stat pools. 1881 stam recovery, basically 1900 stam recovery, and 642 magic recovery. Our health recovery is super low because of the fact that we're a vampire. We're going vampire for these certain passives here. Where it's in the world, isn't it? Supernatural recovery for the extra recovery for the magic and stam. Undeath, reducing damage taken to 33% when you're below 50%, so you just take less damage the lower you get. And Dark Stalker, and ignore the movement speed penalty while you're in crouch. And we're in heavy armor, so we're going to be moving really slow. But with this, we're going to be moving at normal speed. 1900 spell resistance, 20k physical resistance. Now we're buffed a little bit by the defensive scroll bonus, so that's where you're getting the extra 1k from here. 2200 unbuffed weapon damage on the front bar, which is the sword and shield bar. 35%, 36% weapon crit. This can go up a little bit because we're not running major savagery and we don't have a lot of the assassination skill lines, whatever, on our bar. 2900 crit resist. You can. Well, this is, I think it's just fine. It's great. It's whatever. The thief boon for the extra weapon and spell crit. Then we have our special food here, and I'll go over this into detail. Running 2-piece Veladreth. This can be swapped out for Kina. If you're good with Kina, I would use Kina over Veladreth, but I was just trying Veladreth out. I'm pretty good with Kina myself, and that's what I usually use, but Veladreth's also very nice. 4-piece Clever Alchemist on the body. All impin, all max stam, all heavy. 1-piece medium Bone Pirate's bracers, which is obviously on your hands there, and they're on impin. Now this can be any 1-piece, you know, just as long as you can get one on the body. But yeah, max stam on this as well. Also, you need to have one of the pieces of your monster helm in heavy. Preferably both, but at least one in heavy, because you're not going to get your 5-piece heavy bonus, and you really need the 5-piece heavy bonus to make this build work. Bone Pirate's necklace. 3 Bone Pirates on the accessories here, or the jewelry. All weapon damage, all robust. So right now we have 4 of each. We have 4 Clever Alch and 4 Bone Pirates to the body and the jewelry. 1 Bone Pirate's mace sharpened. And this is with the weapon damage and spell damage enchant. Clever Alch shield impin max stam. And the Bone Pirate's great sword. You want a great sword here because you get the more healing taken, or you get more healing done, and also you get well, that's really about it. Just the more healing done, because it's gonna be a healing and a buff bar anyways. Because your sword and shield bar is the front bar, which is all your damage. The great sword is going to be your buff bar, your healing bar, all that sort of stuff. So with that being said, it would probably be best to have defending on this, but I couldn't get one. It took me forever to get this one, let alone a defending one. So yeah. Also, something to note here is if you couldn't get a one-handed Bone Pirate sharpened, you could also go with a Bone Pirate shields, infused or impin, both really good, or reinforced, better than nothing, I guess. And then a Bone Pirate's great sword on the back bar. So it's something else you can try right there. That's it for all the sets. I'll show you what potions I use. I use Tristat, Invisibility, and Weapon Power. I'll also use Immovability with the max stam. Well, it gives you stam and then makes you run faster, gives you major expedition. Really good potions. And I also use the health and max stam ones, because those are also super strong. I just don't have them on this character. I think they're in my bank, but those are the 4 or 5 options there to try out. in case you don't like to use tri-stat or weapon power pots. Now, weapon power pots are going to give you your 10% weapon crit, and we'll see. We'll go ahead and fully buff up, and we'll see what we get here. I don't have to cast all these buffs, but now I'm going to hit my weapon power pot. On the front bar, we have 34, 50 weapon damage, about 50% crit, 48.7% crit, and then in sneak, 3,700 weapon damage. So, super strong, and we have 2255 Stam recovery with that going on, with our major, well, with this pot going. Major endurance. And whenever we do this, we get the minor endurance, we'll have 2255 Stam recovery. So it's super, super strong. You saw that we had 3,700 weapon damage with all that going on. So now I'm going to walk outside here, and we're going to show you the fully buffed weapon damage. The drink that I've been talking about here is called Dubious Camoran Throne. I don't really know how that's said, but it came out with the Jester event, which came out, I think it was 2 or 3 days ago. Maybe it was 3 days ago. Super, super strong drink. 95% of the time, this stuff doesn't work. The drinks from the festivals and the foods or whatever don't work with sets that they should, because I guess they didn't code them right. Like, the devs will say that they're supposed to work, but they don't, and then they're not coded right. Maybe they've changed that. But now, my buddy linked me this other day, Faith, my friend Faithless, he linked me to it the other day, and he said, or no, he was in TeamSpeak, and he said something like, you might want to try this out with Bone Pirate to see if it works. And I was like, dude, it probably won't work, because, you know, all the other ones never worked. So I did decide to give it a try, and whenever I did, I was really, really shocked that it did work. Because this drink is super, super strong for Bone Pirate, super strong for a Stam class, really in general. Like, it's Templar's Wet Dream, it's Bone Pirate User's Wet Dream, Stam Nightblade, it's great. It's literally great. Gives you 320 Stam recovery, which it goes synergizes with Bone Pirate, gives you over 550 Stam recovery, gives you 600 Stam recovery, pretty much. Increases your max Stam by 3,200. Works with Bone Pirate, synergizes as well, gives you even more max Stam, gives you over 5k max Stam. And then gives you the max health. And the problem always with Bone Pirate is that you had to run a drink. And the drinks, you either used Red Frothgar and you got your health and match recovery and a little bit of Stam and extra Stam, but it wasn't very optimal because you had to run a magic recovery drink to get your health. This time though, that's not the case. You get basically the opposite of that. And it's super, super strong. Because usually, running Bone Pirate, you run the regen build. And the regen build's all about not having a lot of health, but being able to roll dodge, cast more stuff, and be very elusive, I guess. And that's really what more of Nightblades look for, is the more sustain type regen builds. Low health, high regen, and that's it. This time though, you get both. You double dip. You get the health, you get the Stam, you get the max Stam, the max health, both stat pulls that you really need. You don't really need the Magicka as much if you're smart with it, especially with siphoning attacks. And then you get the Stam recovery. This is amazing. I cannot believe out of every single one of the drinks they decided to let this one slip through, or they decided to let this one work. Really big surprise there. Really, really big surprise. So let's go see what the fully buffed weapon damage is. Alright, we should be about fully stacked. We have 3,700. A lot attack. Oh. 4158. You can see there, 4158. And then stealth, we would have had over about 4,500. Because we get 10% in stealth and everything like that. So, yeah, it's been about it, guys. I don't know what else to show you about the build, but it's going to be super strong. You'll see a lot of people running this for sure, because that drink is busted. It's actually busted. So I'm hopping the champion tree here and show you what I run. A 90 warlord, 30 into magician, because we do use fears and cloaks We don't use as much magicka as we used to because we did change this into a magicka or a stamina ability, which is really, really nice. They should have done this a long time ago, in my opinion. But anyways, it is a stamina ability now. And we're also running siphoning attacks. Actually, yeah, let me show you the skills first, because I should probably do that. Resolving Vigor for heals in the front bar. You just easy heals. Surprise attack. Ambush. Mass Hysteria. And Shadow of Disguise. Surprise attack gives us major fracture. It does a lot of physical damage. I mean, a lot. And it's really easy to animation cancel. So it's like auto attack, surprise attack, bash, auto ransack, bash, but surprise attack instead. Ambush, our gap closer, does decent damage, and it also gives us empower. Mass Hysteria for the fear, the big AoE fear, reducing damage and slowing their movement speed. Super strong stuff. This is our get out or get in. Also gives us 100% crit strike or critical chance while we're in cloak. So it's super strong as well. You pair it up like a ambush, Shadow of Disguise, Dawnbreaker, get the empowered critted Dawnbreaker. Now, here's where you can switch things up a little bit. You can run Dawnbreaker here. That's what I am running. And I recommend if you're running with a group or if you're running against a group, definitely run Dawnbreaker because it's a little bit more versatile than just your in-cap strike. Now, I do run in-cap strike on the back bar, but I only use it during 1v1s or really small scale fights, like 1 to 2 people, maybe 2 to 3. That's about it. But in-cap strike is good in 1v1s. It's better than Dawnbreaker in a 1v1 because of the damage that you get against them and the major defile. But Dawnbreaker is just going to outclass it whenever it comes to AoE knockdowns and stuff like that. Also with Dawnbreaker, we're going to be getting 3% increased weapon damage, which is really nice. Now, that's pretty much it for this front bar here. Let's go back to the back bar here. We're running Relentless Focus, the 8% increased damage done, and the 10% stam recovery. Also, if you are on your back bar buffing up, sometimes you'll get the bow, and you can use the bow here. Remember always to light attack between your surprise attacks, and you'll get the bow up quite a bit. Running Shuffle for the major evasion and the snare removal, and mobilization removal as well. Siphoning attacks for the extra sustain, extra regen, really just for a magicka pool. Stamina not so much, but magicka for sure, magicka. But it's all good anyways. Resolving Vigor, this is kind of a free spot because you don't really need a double slot Vigor, but you can put anything you want here. Trap Beast, I mean just whatever you really want to put. Put Caltrops here, whatever. And then Rally. Rally obviously for the major brutality. For the big burst heal, it's really nice stuff. I'm also running 3 points in medicinal use. I do recommend you get these, especially with an alchemist build. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this. I will go into the CP now though. Alright, so 90 into Warlord with extra stam extra stam reduction. 30 into Magician for a little bit of reduction on our magicka abilities, because since we're using this drink, we don't have the magicka regen, so we're going to be a little bit tight on that. But with this 7 almost 8% cost reduction, we're going to have a little bit extra fears and cloaks and stuff like that, and siphoning strikes as well. Mooncalf, because we are running a little bit more high regen build, so we will benefit from this a lot more. If you wanted to, you could take the points from Magician and put them in the Mooncalf, but I haven't really tried that yet. It might be alright. The rest of the points going into Tumbling, just for roll dodging and breaking free. And we have a lot of regen anyway, so we can roll dodge and break free a lot more, but it's nice to have. Blessed increases effectiveness of healing done by 8.5 or 8.1%. This is just for our rallies and cloaks and stuff like that. And our vigors keep us alive. 100 into Mighty, 40 into Piercing, and 40 into Precise Strikes, because we're going to be critting quite a bit, and we need, since we're running one-handed shield, we need the extra penetration, and the 100 into Mighty just for all the damage. 60 into Resistant, 70 into Hardy, 70 into Elemental Defender, a little bit split up there. and none into quick recovery. Now you could pull some out of resistant and put them into quick recovery. That would be what I would do if I needed a little bit more healing. So I guess that's kind of it for this video. I am going to show you a good way to burst heal though, because not a lot of people know about this. The way this crit cloak works, the way Shadowy Disguise works, is that while you're in it, you have a 100% chance to crit. You get a buff called Precision. Let me just kill these things really quickly. Anyways, so you get a buff called Precision. I'll show you that right now. See, called Precision right here. And while you're in that, it means you have a 100% chance to crit. It doesn't show it on here, but that's what it means. It means you have a 100% chance to crit. Essentially, all your heals that are ticking while you're in your cloak crit 100% of the time. So, if you have, let's say I'm getting stomped, whatever, and I gotta roll away, but I pop Vigor and my rally's coming up. Before you go and you burst heal your rally, go into your cloak. Go into your cloak and then hit rally. Because as soon as you hit rally, not only is it going to be the amped healing because it's lasted a lot longer, it's also going to have 100% chance to crit, and all your vigor ticks are critting. So you go from 0 to 100 and one cloak. It's kind of ridiculous. Another way to get this combo off is to fear and then do it. It's one of the best ways. Empower, also the last thing here before I go, Empower from the ambush ability can be used to empower your Dawnbreaker and your in-cap strike, which is super nice. Just make sure you don't ambush auto attack, because if you auto attack, it'll consume the empowered buff. It's an empower the one light attack. That's it. But yeah, I guess this has been it for this one, guys. See you guys later. Take care.